Hello, good afternoon. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brian, and I am exposing this morning the greatest and most outrageous news the country knows. For 2.5 years, I've been part of a program where I have literally been occupied and invaded by members of the FBI. They say they are, and I will get into great detail about how the technology works as we advance throughout these series. These are home-produced videos, so I do apologize for the quality of sound and picture. I'd like to start by reading a letter. This is a letter that was sent to the FBI May 2nd, 2024. It goes like this. Since fall of 2021, a psychological operation comprised of individuals or an individual claiming FBI stature has operated against myself and my interests. This is true. My interest being my family, my livelihood, my health, my wellness. Efforts consist of using auditory technologies, including those of conduction, to transfer their voice unto me. These are known as bone conducting technologies. You've heard voice to skull technologies. A lot of you who watch podcasts have seen many people talk about these things in great detail. And if you are aware of these things, then you've heard it before. This is not new to you. Of course it's not. These are technologies used by special forces. Obviously, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, when conducting operations, they don't speak out loud because they do not need to. The satellites and drones and placements on towers and technologies that are available to them allow them to speak to one another basically from head to head. And they do not need to use any speech out loud, and this is done in several ways, one of which is when you think of what you want to say, your vocal cords begin to slightly move despite the fact that you're not speaking, and the AI technology and the drones and the overhead satellites can read those movements and transpose it to a voice or transcription and transfer it to another. Another way is by reading brain waves. The advancement has become very much more detailed and advanced. They've monitored my activities at a rate of 24/7, including sleep time. Now, if one can understand that if there's technologies available that can read brain patterns and put those patterns into picture using technologies on screen, and can also take anything you think of and transfer it to a voice or a transcription of words, this can also be done during REM sleep. So if you understand that, you know that the government and the intelligence agencies and the secret access programs of the military are recording your dreams. This is a fact. It's time for people to grow up and stop worrying that somehow is the government monitoring my searches on my phone. That is a caveman mentality that has long since been outdated, and it's ridiculous to even limit yourself to thinking like that at this point in 2024. They've been intercepting, interfering with, and responding to my patterns of thought and cognitive recognition each day. True. Including but not limited to false conversations and situations transmitted or transposed to me involving my own spouse. My spouse's voice and name was frequently used to install interpretations of adultery and criminal behaviors, including conspiratorial murder plots. What this means is, and I will interrupt for a moment to say this is a tactic used in recruiting people to special forces and to the intelligence agencies. They will turn these technologies on potential recruits, of which I am not one, and never have been, and never will be. And they will transfer conversations directly to the voicing and the cognitive recognition of a person to see how they will react to such situations. Will they become violent? Will they believe it? Will they act out? Will they be crushed and devastated? Will they cry? They have a great interest in finding all about people's psychological activities, and this is what they do. And this is a horrifying thing. It really is. Do you believe it's horrifying? You do, of course you do. This is insanity, and it's going on every day. The public is being disturbed by these things every day, and most people do not even know it because they don't have the ability to actually hear it, but subconsciously their minds do. There's a thing called critical listening, which is a skill learned over many, many, many years. Some people are naturally gifted. Musicians are usually inclined to be gifted into this measure where you can actually hear these things, because when these technologies are used against you, you will have a dominant ringing in your ears, both ears, mostly in the left ear, because this is a left-brained type of thing. So if anyone's ever used a phone or spoken, then intelligence agencies can copy the sound of that person's voice, and using AI can create a conversation that would lead you to believe that that person was having the conversation. So these men would use the voicings of my own wife against me, talking to other men, conspiring against me, plotting against me even, to try to attack me, to assault me, because this is not just limited to people who are recruits. There's, unfortunately, a vast lack of leadership, and these technologies are advancing so fast that it's created an anarchic system where rogue groups of thugs who have found themselves inside the intelligence agencies can create their own little gangs of individuals, and they will help one another in assaulting people that they don't like. And so this is called targeted, weaponized assault or attack. Many people have seen Congressman Matt Gaetz questioning the FBI Director Christopher Wray about these things, which is a man I do not know, and I will not speak ill of. I do not know anything about the man, but he just happened to be the one that Matt Gaetz was speaking to. And they're doing this to people all the time and get away with it every day because nobody speaks out, because they can't prove it. And unfortunately, the public would have a hard time believing this to be fact, but it is true. Let me tell you it is. These operators led me to believe, or allowed me to believe, they were my cousin, Mr. David Hall, and my brother Stephen Hall. So what they will do is, they could be your brother and they could be your cousin, very much so. I do have a cousin named David who was in the Air Force and later apparently had joined the FBI. So very well could be them. Or they could use these close relative resources against you in a plot. It's hard to say. Do I know? Of course I do. Do I think I know? I do think that I know, as a matter of fact. They have continually insisted they will, quote, beat my head in for the rest of my life, unquote. Over the course of 2+ years, one introduced himself as one Michael Thompson. Now everybody knows that when you join the intelligence agencies, your old name is obsolete. You will get a new name. You will have new identification, and all those things will be made available to you. And this man has declared over and again that he is one Michael Thompson. Now, when we go back to this quote, beat your head in. Now, this is a clever hazing quote that these men have come up with, and upon being recruited into the intelligence agencies, they may do it to you as a hazing technique, but they're also doing it in these measures to inflict what they consider judgment and punishment on the public. And to beat one's head in, what you do is you will